All right, we're on. We're on. It's Saturday evening, early Saturday evening in the tropics. It's just got dark, and Saturday's a weekend. Saturday is, for many people, a time to just catch up on personal work, housework, family time. And Saturday night, for many people, is fun times. Saturday night is fun times. Last Saturday night, I went to a wedding and had a good time. Didn't go dancing all night as I had planned after the wedding because the cognac was a little bit too much at the wedding. um, yes, and you're toasting and toasting and toasting. And I finally thought, you know what? No, I need to just go home, have a glass of water, and go to bed. And that's what I did. So this Saturday night, I am not doing anything much actually. I'm going to have dinner in a little bit with a couple of friends and looking forward to it. But this Saturday, we spent the whole week working. We spent the whole week working. For those of you who haven't listened to this before, I'm Shirley Osborne, and I'm doing 45 days of live events for the Women's Leadership Circle. The Women's Leadership Lab is an organization that I started that focuses on supporting women, guiding women, helping women, teaching women to find their most extraordinary selves, to dig into themselves and find the courage and the personal power to do the work that they've come here to do the things that really drive them, energize them, and fulfill them. My work is about women in leadership, women taking up leadership positions at every level, wherever the opportunity presents itself, because I am convinced, I know for a fact, that the world needs women's leadership. The world needs women's capacities, contributions, women's abilities. The world needs women's wisdoms. And so my work is supporting women in sharing that wisdom, those capacities, those competencies on a personal level in our homes and families, relationships, at work, in politics. Politics is a really big deal for me. I love politics. And some people call me a politician. I'm not sure I like that because the connotations around politicians anywhere in the world you go are not, I don't know anywhere that they are positive. But the work of politicians is really necessary, good, useful, valuable work. The issue there is not the work itself, it's the quality of the politicians. And unfortunately, in every country in the world, pretty much, that quality leaves a lot to be desired. And so I work in politics. I love politics. I am a woman working in politics, and therefore I'm a politician. But I'm clear that I am not the generally accepted, I do not fit the generally accepted definition of politician. I work differently. And so tonight, when I said I was going to talk about shoes, well, I said I'd talk about shoes tonight. And what I had in mind is not what has shown up. I had intended to talk about fun shoes, Saturday night shoes. And if you notice, I'm wearing my gold lame, a lovely Chloe shirt I bought years and years ago that I hardly ever wear. And tonight I was looking for stuff and I found it and I thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? And so I put them on. But what I want to talk to you about is the shoes I wore today. I wore hiking boots today because this morning I did a walk across Montserrat, this little island on which I am right now that I've told you means so much to me. I organized a walk across Montserrat through my organization, the work I do on Montserrat, the Montserrat Brain Trust, which supports children, teaches children, provides after-school programs for children to get them engaged and excited about learning and about exploring and experiencing all kinds of different things. I give them, through the Brain Trust, with the support of many other people, I give them what I consider, what I call a vocabulary of experiences. I have them experience different things, all kinds of different things, so that they have material with which to make the decisions for their lives as they grow, as they as they mature into adulthood. Because there's nothing worse, I know, than not having the foundation, the information, the experiences, the language, if you will, with which to make the decisions, the real reasoned decisions that are important. We're talking about politics, we're talking also about that, being able to make reasoned, informed decisions. And I think it's not just good, it's a right. Everybody has the right to access to the experiences and the information, the knowledge, the wisdoms that give them that that vocabulary with which to make decisions for their lives, for their families, their communities, and for their work. And so this morning, the hike, the walk across Montserrat took place. We were raising funds and raising awareness about the Brain Trust, and working also on trying to reconnect people with this little island. Remember, I told you that we had a volcanic eruption in 1995, and we've been suffering really badly since then. The island has been going through a really, really rough time these last 27 years. We lost the bulk of the largest proportion of our population, and of course, without people, you have no country, And so the few people here are working to rebuild the country, attracting people, inviting people to come help us, inviting Montserratians to come back home, and inviting other people to come make Montserrat home and be part of building something beautiful and wonderful and powerful. Because as tragic and painful as that experience was, what we have the opportunity to do now is to start from scratch, to build something brand new, beautiful, wonderful, never before done, to just literally build something that nobody has ever done. And that, of course, is a hard task. It's a difficult thing. Human beings are not, they're not they're not generally keen on brand new. We like the stuff that we know and that we are familiar with, the old familiar stuff. Better the devil, kind of thing. So even if it's not good, even if it's not really serving us, we like it anyway. We want to hold on to it because it's familiar. And that's kind of the situation in Montserrat right now. And so it's really difficult in many, many instances for us to get things done, and especially for women, because although you will hear people say that there are lots of women in positions of authority in the country, women are not considered fully capable or competent. And in any case, the highest positions are, for the most part, held by almost all held by men. And we've all been conditioned to believe that women just don't have the capacity to lead really, really, really well in any capacity, in any position, really. And it's showing up in Montserrat, and especially now where the situation is tenuous, it's delicate, with a delicate balance between advancement, between development, and just absolute failure. Women are not being given the chance to contribute all of the capacities that we can. And I maintain that is precisely what Montserrat needs. Like every other country in the world, what we really, really need is women's capabilities, women's capacities contributed without reserve to the work that our families, communities, and countries, corporations are doing. This is not just Montserrat. Everywhere in the world, I believe this ought to begin to happen. And we're seeing some movement there. We're seeing, a lot of I got little animals flying around. We're seeing women being more vocal, more active, more activist, and more unapologetically so. Women are working, standing up and saying, no, we get to do this, we get to participate. It's a hard road. It's going to take a lot of time. The resistance is really, really strong. It's deep, it runs deep and long. It's been there for millennia. It's not going to dissipate anytime soon. And so the work is hard. And I believe that a lot of that work gets done with our very young people, which is one of the reasons I work with children here, girls and boys. I started with the Girls Education Project, and now the Brain Trust is girls and boys, because I believe girls and boys need to be taught the same things, that women are competent, capable, powerful, smart, strong, worthy, valuable, all of those things. And that's one of the things I try to transmit. That's one of the lessons I try to have to teach to the children. And so we did the walk this morning, 13.3 mile walk across an island that's a little bit more. It's only a very little more than 30 miles across straight length ways, but it's uphill, down, then up, then down. So it's not an easy walk. We were on the roads, we were on the main roads, but it's uphill a lot because Montserrat's a very mountainous island. And I wore boots. I wore my hiking boots. And of course, walking on the tarmac, walking on the streets, you don't need hiking boots. But we started in Plymouth, which was buried by volcanic stuff, volcanic rocks and ash and gravel and stone and dust, and just pretty much buried. And it was raining. And so it was muddy, it was mucky, it was rocky, it was wet. And so I wore my boots, and I didn't swap them out when I came onto the paved roads. And so I walked all of those miles in these boots. And of course, what boots do is, for me anyway, and actually what boots do is they protect you. They protect your feet. There are lots of shoes that women wear that don't do. There's no protection. There's just style, right? We know that. We love those too. But boots are protective. Boots give you something to stand in, something that holds your feet. So when you take your position, or when you're walking, when you're making your move, you're on your journey, they help you. And that's what happened this morning. And so instead of talking to you about those little slipper things that would go well with this, well, actually the boots would be very different, but why not? Why not boots with gold lame? The walking in the boots this morning was empowering. I really felt, and because it was such a long walk, I really felt that I was supported in my walk. And when we wear these flimsy little things and we out to have fun, we're not looking about protection. We're not looking about taking a position, taking a stand, and being in battle, so to speak. We are just looking at how we look. Boots are about how you look, but boots also are about how you walk. And for me, how you walk in the world, how we walk in the world, is something that most people don't really think very deeply about. This last week, we talked a lot about leading from inside, and about self-exploration, self-love, soulful leadership, intentional leadership, and seated leadership. Yeah. And some of the things we talked about were how we are in relationship with people, how we present ourselves to the world, the things we do in the world, the way we carry ourselves in the world. All of those are how I express that is how we walk in the world. How we walk in the world as individuals, as parts of a group, as leaders, is something we don't think about a lot. We just do. We're human beings. We know who we are, and we walk. And it has been my experience, my personal experience, and that I've had relayed to me by others, that we miss a lot of what we could do, of who we could be, when we are not intentional, when we are not clear about the steps we take and how we gear up to take those steps, to take that journey, how we gear up, what shoes we wear, metaphorically speaking. And there are times when we need to wear boots, even when we're wearing gold lame. There are times when boots are what? Hiking boots, work boots, military boots are what we need. They are what we need on this particular part of our journey. And so I won't, it's Saturday night, I won't take much more time, but I just wanted to say this about how we walk in the world and the shoes that we wear, figuratively speaking, and encourage you to find your boots. Find your boots. The world needs women to find our boots, to put on our boots, even when we're wearing gold lame, and do the work, because the work needs to be done. The world will be a better place. Can only be a better place, a significantly better place, when there is fairness, justice, and all that, and when women are allowed to participate and contribute, not just contribute on the margins like we've been allowed to do up until now, but have full, absolute, unquestioned contribution, engagement, involvement, unquestioned and just acceptable, accepted, no questions asked. So women walk into a room because we own the room. Women show up. We don't need to walk with our own chairs because there are chairs waiting for us. There are chairs that have our name on them that are expecting us. And if we do walk with our own chair, they just make room for us because we have a right to be there, because we bring value. We bring value. And that's sort of what I felt this morning when I was walking across this little island. I felt that some of the work that I'm doing is valuable work. Of course, I talked to myself. I said that, I was walking, of course, I was thinking through things and looking at some of the work I've done, and the work I did this week with children, for example, and some of the questions that came up, some of the conversations we had with children, and some of the ways I found myself feeling about children. There were children. There was one child who was 4 years old. We had 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds. I think the eldest one was 11, and the very youngest one was 4. And the conversation, the engagement, me watching these children in the very earliest parts of their lives and acknowledging that their parents have allowed me the privilege of being able to contribute something to their early development. And part of my training has me know that, about within the first 6 years of life, how very much children's brains grow and how much is formed and set in those 6 years. And then of course how easily that also continues in 7, 8, 9 when they're very, very young, how impressionable and influenceable they are, and that these parents allowed us the free reign, really, because they weren't available. They were not present. They dropped their children off and we took care of their children for 4 days, and got to instill something in these children that we hope will last. We know we did good work, and we hope that it'll cement something, strengthen something in these children, so that when they grow up, girls and boys, when they become men and women, they'll be walking together, not the way we are walking, women over here, men over here. We've done all these millennia, but they'll be walking together, understanding each other, recognizing, acknowledging the value and the worth of each other. And the girls won't have to be struggling the way we are. That's my hope, that's my plan, that's my work. And I encourage you to put on your boots and help us do this work. It is critical work, important work, and very necessary work for our posterity, for the good of the world. It is as important as climate work, as important as economic development, as important as anything else. As a matter of fact, all of those, climate work, economic development, social advancement, all of those are hindered, reduced, held back by the controlled, gate-kept engagement of women. Until we allow women, until women are fully accepted, fully engaged, fully involved, those things will make progress, yes, but it'll be nowhere near what it would be if women, and you've seen this, you see the areas where women are deeply involved, you see the difference, you see the power, the wonder, the advancement that comes. Look through your history books, talk to anybody, you'll see it. So I'm going to stop here and wish you a wonderful Saturday night. Tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow we'll talk. Tomorrow afternoon, around about this time, early evening, around about 4 o'clock Pacific time, which is about 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll talk some about what we're going to do next week. Next week, I have a couple of guests we're going to talk to One has this amazing story of just really survival and getting through and staying alive and keeping her body and her mind alive and well despite all kinds of pain and tragedies. She wears her boots. She wears her boots. She also wears the little slipper things. That's part of the beauty of being a woman. So have yourselves a lovely evening. Take good care. And oh, thank you for it's a little bit, but you can watch it in the on the page. It's been wonderful talking with you, sharing this with you. I will see you tomorrow. Take good care.